Welcome to episode 75 of Pera's Playbook. Today I'm joined by Alex Robertson of the Alvernia women's hockey team. Alex, thanks for joining me. How's it going?
It's pretty good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Tomorrow's Friday. I always like doing episodes on Thursday because next day is Friday and then you're in the weekend and it's things to be happy about. So why don't we start by talking about your recruiting process? And then, obviously, when you started, Alvernia was a new program. So I guess kind of tie that into your process and your like decision and all that.
Yeah, so my senior year of high school, I decided to move to online school and I played in the JWHL, which is the Junior Women's Hockey League. So that definitely helped a lot with my recruiting. We went to like a new state like pretty much every weekend. I got to connect with a lot of different college coaches. And at that time, I was actually planning on doing a gap year in between juniors and college. So I wasn't really planning on going to school right away. But then I got an email from the Alvernia head coach, and I decided to take a visit to Pennsylvania, not thinking I was going to end up going there because I didn't even want to leave like New England. I'm from Boston. I didn't think I'd ever go to Pennsylvania for hockey, but I ended up really loving the school. It was definitely a risk because I was the first commit and it stayed that way for about a month. So I was
Was
kind
that
of nervous.
pretty was that pretty nerve like every day you're like there's got to be somebody else. It's got to be
Yeah.
somebody else coming.
Yeah, because I wasn't even like sure if it was just me at the time. Like he never told me it was just me yet. And then eventually a month later I found out that I got a teammate. So that was exciting. It was nervous, like nerve-wracking though, because I didn't know it was gonna happen. But yeah, it was definitely the right choice though, choosing a new program, like being a part of the process of building it up was really cool.
What about going online and then doing juniors? Do you think that really like set you ahead in a hockey sense? Like, would you,
Yeah.
recommend other girls do that? You think it's a good idea to kind of give you a leg up?
Yeah, I definitely do think it was really good. Like I improved so much that year alone. So we would all just go to the rink every day. We'd do our online school together, like as a team. We'd have access to ice time whenever we wanted. Got 2-hour practices every day. I got to travel a lot. I went to Vancouver, Minnesota. So it was a lot of fun. I would really recommend it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, good experiences and helps you grow in more than just a hockey player. I mean, you
Yeah.
grow, like you said, as a person and all these different avenues that are going to set you up good for college and in a social and a hockey sense. So in year one, you're coming into a new program. Did you have any idea like how much you were going to play or, did you have like an expectation?
Yeah, I expected to play. We didn't have that many girls on our roster. We also had a lot of injuries that year. So we had like two lines maybe at some points. So there were some games I ended up logging like 47 minutes, which is quite a bit.
Yeah,
Kind of crazy to look back on. But
definitely. Yeah, that's a lot.
yeah, yeah. So we were definitely
So yeah. I mean, the 47 minutes, I mean, that's kind of common though. New programs, the first year, it's hard to get people to like commit to that. Like you said, you were kind of nervous at first. I mean, there's so many questions in the air. You don't really know what to expect. You don't I mean, it's hard to expect a lot of people to buy in right away. So there's a lot of firsts in your first game. I mean, it starts off the first season. It's your first game and the school's first game. You guys got your first win in the first game, and you had an assist. I mean, there's kind of a lot going on in that
yeah.
first game.
I know it was crazy because we didn't even have like really any transfers. We had one transfer, but she was coming from a club program. So just getting like the whole like NCAA protocol and everything, there was a lot going on that first game. We also had like over 400 people, which is the most I've ever played in front of. So that was pretty cool as well. And yeah, just playing a new team, like a team from Massachusetts, like we had no clue what we were getting into. But then we ended up winning by a lot, so that was a really cool experience.
Yeah, it had to feel good to start off on the right foot, give you
Yeah.
something to go off of. Like, okay, these are some things that we can do well, and when we know we can compete. It also, I'm sure, made you feel like you belonged. I mean, as a new program, sometimes it's hard. Like, oh, do we really belong at this level? But when you win your first game, you're like, okay, like, yeah, this is where we should be.
Yeah, yeah, it was really cool. I think I remember they scored on us like in the first 20 seconds of the game too. So that was kind of a lot to like bounce back from.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure that would have been kind of tough. Like, oh, geez, what are we in for?
Yeah, yeah.
You got your first goal, your first college goal in the final game of the first season. I mean, were you kind of like hoping and getting nervous, like, oh, geez, I haven't gotten one yet? It's kind of like the monkey on the back. Like, you finally
Yeah,
get it off, though.
I was definitely stressed. I was trying not to like think about it. And then I like that third game, like I remember or the last game, I remember thinking like, oh, like I might not score this year, that's fine. And then I scored in the last period of the last game, so it was really exciting. It was like a huge relief.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely is. Like, just mentally, now you can stop thinking about it because you've done it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was so stressed.
I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, everyone wants to score. And if your friends are scoring and like other people are scoring and you're getting assists, you're like, I want a goal. I
Yeah.
mean, assists are nice, but everyone
Yeah,
wants the goal.
I know.
So, I mean, tough enough to start a new program like right off the bat, but it's even harder when the second year is COVID year. I mean, not normal at all. So, I mean, was that really extra difficult for your team since you're trying to find your way in college hockey and now you've got this huge roadblock?
Yeah. I feel like in a way it kind of helped us because we were lucky. We were able to practice like the whole time that we weren't like playing games. We did end up playing 8 games, but we got like a lot of practice, a lot of conditioning in. So I feel like it kind of helped us like grow in a way and coming back into my junior year like even stronger.
Yeah, yeah. I guess you spent so much time together that you kind of had to get close.
Yeah, yeah, we definitely went through a lot. There were a lot of times where, like, if somebody on my team got exposed to COVID, we'd all have to like move into a hotel for 2 weeks.
No,
So it
that's
was a
crazy.
lot. I
Yeah.
know.
That's a lot on top of school and everything else.
Yeah, yeah,
So, I mean, I guess you can kind of see that quick progression. I mean, by your third year, you guys are already winning like 11, 12 games. And that's a pretty fast progression. There's a lot of teams that start a new program and they can't crack 5 wins for like the first however many seasons. So you guys pretty quickly progressed to having winning seasons or at least being at 500. Um, was that, I mean, like a shock, or did you guys kind of feel like, hey, like, we kind of expected to be here that quickly? That was the plan all along.
yeah. I mean, I definitely expected it. My coach was like very adamant on building like a big program. Like he didn't want it to just kind of like fade out, if that makes sense. Like he had high
Yeah.
expectations for this team and he's really good at recruiting. So that year we got a lot of great players that they easily could have gone to like I think Division 1 schools. So we were very lucky to get a lot of those players and that helped us out.
And that's like the key to building a new program. You said your coach is good at recruiting. I mean,
Yeah.
when you start with nothing, if you're not a good recruiter, you're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, looking at this year, you're a captain. Was that pretty obviously pretty exciting, but what was that like to be a leader on your team after, being there from the beginning?
Yeah, it was really cool. It was nice to see my teammates trust me to be in that kind of position. I really enjoyed it. I loved having like a bigger role on the team and like on and off the ice, being involved in decisions and all that. So I really appreciate that they voted me into that position.
Right. And then it makes you feel good about your teammates, like that they trusted you to be a leader on the team and that they hold you in that respect. They respect you and look up to you. Is there a most memorable game in your time there that you like look back and just really sticks out for some reason?
Yeah, I'd say probably last season. I think it was the last regular season game we had. It was against Kings. We ended up winning like 5-1, and we won our first MAC title that day. So that was really exciting. And it was also nice to see some of the seniors last year. Like one of my best friends, she scored her first goal in the last regular season game. So that was really cool to see, like after 4 years, how far everyone has come. And in 4 years,
Yes.
we won the MAC, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, see that hard work pay off and
Yeah.
makes it all worth it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be hockey related, but do you have a best memory, just at Alvernia? I mean, it can be hockey related, but it doesn't have to be.
Yeah. We went to Manhattanville, I think in January of this year, and ended up being able to stay over an extra night in New York, and my whole team went to the PWHL game. So that was really
Okay.
cool. I was
Yeah.
really to like see it kind of it all come together
Did
for
you guys
women's.
know you were going to be able to do that, or was it like a surprise?
Yeah, we found out like a week before. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really
So
nice. We were gone for like 3 days, so that was really cool that they let us do that.
yeah, no, that is definitely I've never heard like that, like a college, when you're on a trip, you getting to stay an extra day to do something like that. That's an awesome like perk.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really cool.
So looking back, on your time, you're a graduate student now, so you've been there since the start of the program. Just is it kind of crazy that you're at where you're at? I mean, everyone tells you when you start college, like, oh, it's gonna go by so fast, but nobody believes it. Everyone's like, yeah, right, the homework and everything, it's gonna take forever. But I mean, looking back, can you kind of believe where you're at, or just a blink of an eye, it's over, kind
Yeah,
of?
it does. It goes by really fast, and especially having like 5 years, it still goes by so fast. I definitely grew a lot at Alvernia. I think with it being a new program freshman year, it kind of forced me to grow like physically and mentally, like on the ice, off the ice, into a bigger role than I would have if I had just come in as a traditional freshman and there's that like senior freshman dynamic. So I really appreciate that. I really think I needed that to help me grow. So,
What about looking at the program? Like the growth of the program. I mean, we mentioned you guys won whatever 4 or 5 games your first year, then you had COVID, and now you're consistently winning more than 10 games a year, which is a pretty big step in such a short time.
yeah, it is really cool to see. It's also cool to see all the different recruits we get now. We have one girl from Norway. We have some other international students coming in next season. And it's also cool to see like the difference in like the mindsets of these new recruits. Like they're just so excited. They really want to continue to build this team up to the next level. And even next year, the MAC becomes its own conference, so we'll be able to go to the tournament from winning the MAC. So that'll be really cool and really like raise the stakes to see like if we're able to go to the NCAA tournament now.
And that'll make kind of like an extra recruiting pitch, like, hey, if you come here, you have a chance if we win to go on. So
Yeah.
that's definitely like an extra card in the deck.
Mhm.
It's cool that you're getting all these recruits from all over, because you're still at that point where your program's new enough where it might scare some people away. Some people, it's only been 5 years. It's still kind of a dicey area for some people who aren't ready to commit. So it's kind of awesome that you are getting commits from Norway or wherever, around the world.
Yeah. Yeah, it is really cool. We've also had like a lot of Alaskans come over too, which is really huge for us. We have I think 4 or 5 of them now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's nice to
So
choose us to come
yeah,
to.
what would you say to somebody who's, like looking at maybe they're being recruited by a new program, because there's new programs popping up every year. Like if they had doubts about, do I really want to commit to a program that is just getting underway? What would advice would you give them, having been in that position before?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is scary, but I would definitely encourage them to go for it because they really have the control to make that program exactly how they want it. Like they're not going into somewhere where the culture is already set or like standards are already like established. Like they have the control to make that team however they want to make that team. So I would
Yeah.
definitely encourage it.
Yeah, you get to build the foundation, you get to set the standard. And then when you look back, like it's got to be exciting for you to kind of, someday you're going to look back at this program and be like, I started it. You can
I
tell
know.
people I was one of the original building blocks. I was the first commit.
I know. It's crazy to think about like how far it's going to keep going. Like this is just the
Yeah.
start.
Yeah. It's definitely an exciting thought.
Yes.
So, in a non-hockey sense, I noticed on your Instagram you like to do some traveling. Where's the top of your travel bucket list? Like, if you could go anywhere in the world right now, where would you go?
I would probably go to Australia. I've been wanting to go there my whole life, so be
What
nice.
why, I guess, like what's your top reason like that you want to go to Australia?
I like the wildlife and just like the
Yeah.
geography of the area. I also surf, so I think it'd be really cool to surf there and
Yeah.
go snorkeling and stuff like that.
And they have great accents.
I know, I love their accent.
I had a punter on. He punted at Eastern Kentucky, and he's Australian. And I loved like just talking to him
I
because of his
know.
accent. It was just the way
I
they
know.
say different things. And he texted just like he talked. Like he texted mates and all that. I was like, that's awesome. I love that.
I know.
So surfing, how long have you been surfing for?
I started my freshman year of high school, so probably about what, like 9 years now.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Are you like a really good surfer?
I'd say probably average. It's
Yeah.
pretty hard. But like I
Yeah.
can do it. I'm just not like doing tricks and all that. But I did
Right.
go to Hawaii to surf, so that was really cool too.
Was that a little bit of a kind of a different surfing experience than what you were used to, or was it pretty
Um,
much the same?
it was honestly better because the waves were just like so much more consistent compared to back home.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like easier because I had a better
Right.
environment. It was a lot of
That makes
fun.
sense. Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense. I'm in Michigan, so obviously no oceans, but some people try to surf in Lake Superior in like November when the waves get kind of wild. They put on a wetsuit because it's super cold and they'll go give it a go. But I can imagine it's completely different than like going to Hawaii and actually surfing in the ocean.
Yeah.
So, what's your favorite season out of the year?
Um, I go back and forth, honestly. I really like winter, but I think that's mostly just because of hockey.
Yeah,
Like I like to ski sometimes, but I haven't been skiing lately because of hockey. Um,
right.
I also like summer too because I just like to be outdoors a lot. So
Yeah. And surfing, right? Like, so you like winter because of hockey, but you like summer because of the other outdoor stuff you can do.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, definitely. That makes sense. I mean, I feel like whatever kind of sports you do, whatever season it falls in, kind of tends to be your favorite because you get to do your sport. Like,
yeah.
I mean, maybe for baseball, it's different because it starts in like the end of winter and it goes through fall. So it's like a bunch of different seasons. But hockey, generally, it's winter and football is fall and, whatever different sports.
And like being able to go pond skating too is really nice.
Right, exactly. Or just
Yeah,
go out for a skate in a local rink or whatever. Not even just hockey, just
yeah,
like you said, just going out for a skate, grab a hot chocolate. And
yeah.
so, what are your favorite sports teams?
My favorite's probably the Bruins. I was really lucky growing up because they practiced at my home rink. So I was able
Oh,
to meet a
cool.
lot. Yeah. And
Yeah,
like,
that had a big influence on you as like a young hockey player.
yeah, it did. I had one of them who would like consistently like message me online. So that was really nice. He was really supportive of like my journey and all that. So it was really nice. It was definitely
Yeah,
impact that made me think that like I had the potential to keep going and keep trying. So
right. Yeah, definitely. Did you have aspirations early on, like when you were a kid, to play college hockey? Was that always a dream of yours?
yeah, I started playing when I was 6, but I can still remember being like 5 years old watching the Bruins and telling my parents that like I wanted to do that. And then ever since then, like it's just been like nonstop. I've just wanted to like keep going with hockey.
Did you go to any Bruins games growing up in Boston?
Yeah, I went to a lot of them. They were really fun.
Yeah. They're having an okay year. I mean, a lot of people expected them to be really bad, but they're
Yeah.
not. They
No.
usually, well, they never are. I mean, that's kind of
No.
the other thing. They're always at least okay or really good. It seems like
Yeah.
they're never bad.
Yeah, no, that's true.
I don't think
Especially
the
like
fans would
losing.
let them.
Yeah, losing Bergeron was really big for us, but
Yeah, that had to have been tough as a fan. Guy
yeah,
that's been with the team for so long, and he's a class act. Like you can't really say anything bad about him.
no.
Not like Marchand.
I know.
I know Bruins fans love him, but most other fans don't.
Yeah, no. He's actually my favorite player, so it's a big
Marchand?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I get it if he's on your team. I
Yeah.
interviewed a guy once who was a Capitals fan. He's like, "Yeah, my favorite player is Tom Wilson." And I was like, "Okay, what? You're the only person."
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have anything against Marchand. Like the way he plays, it makes the game entertaining.
Yeah.
It adds something.
Yeah.
I
He's
mean,
really nice
every
off the ice.
yeah, exactly, right? Like it proves that he's not like just like a piece of crap person. He's just like he's doing it for the game.
Yeah.
Some of these other guys, you can tell they're not nice people off the ice and on the ice. It's like, well, it fits.
Yeah.
So, what's your favorite movie?
That's a tough one. Honestly, like it changes all the time. Right now I'm watching Pirates of the Caribbean again. I really enjoy that series.
Yeah, do you like all of them?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I also like Jurassic Park is what I'm watching now too.
I've
Yeah.
never seen it. Never seen
Oh,
Jurassic Park.
pretty good. There's a lot of them to watch, so
And I think I've only seen like the first three Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't know. I really like the first one. I think the first one's great. And then I stopped liking them like later on. I don't
yeah.
know. I didn't like the way they went with it.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
the first one was really good. I actually like first started watching it I think a year and a half ago, but I really
yeah.
enjoyed it. Watched it so much. Like I kept watching it over and over again because I really
Yeah.
liked it.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely like I could watch the first one over and over and over. The story's good, and I mean you can't go wrong with Johnny Depp as Jack
Yeah.
Sparrow, and then Orlando Bloom and whatever. Like it's got a good cast, and they he plays the role so well of like Jack Sparrow, like this drunken half like
I know.
goofy pirate. Like he just does it so perfectly.
I
I
know.
can't
He's
picture
really
anyone else doing it.
no, not at all.
Yeah, it's a classic, that's for sure. Well, Alex, thanks for hopping on the podcast. It's always interesting to talk to somebody who like chose a new program and like the journey, and especially in your case, I think it's kind of rare to see a program excel that fast, and that's a testament to your coaches and obviously the players they recruited, but especially your coaches building that program because that's a super hard thing to do. It's a big undertaking. And then it's a testament to, like I said, the players taking that risk, and then being rewarded. So definitely cool to hear about your experience and thanks for hopping on the pod.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course.